Hello, my name is Christian Ferran, and this is my final draft for the web article. According to a study conducted by Best Life, on average, humans are optimal at a minimum of 7 hours of sleep. But in today's society, especially in America, only about 40% of Americans are receiving less than 6 hours, meaning that they are at a deficit. Now, the reason for this varies case by case. Many people have different effects, such as children or other responsibilities, but a common aspect that is carried out through all of these is blue light exposure that can cause lack of sleep. Now, in the public eye and public perception, there isn't much known about blue light and its role in playing in our sleep cycle. Our body is regulated by hormones such as melatonin and cortisol that play a huge role in telling our body when to stay awake or feeling sleepy, drowsy, and getting ready to go to bed. And cortisol in your body gives you that awakeness feeling. It's that feeling you wake up in the morning like, I'm ready. And you know how people say, oh, I'm not good until I get my coffee? Cortisol is actually responsible is in high concentration in high energy environments. So when you drink that coffee and you have caffeine plays a role, but also that sugar is promoting cortisol higher concentration, giving you again that awakeness feeling and something that everybody can relate to, which is caused by glycogenesis, the creation of sugar and the breakdown. While melatonin is released when cortisol levels are low, giving you that quiet, sleepy feeling, ready to doze off after a long day of browsing through your phone, looking at memes such as this one right here. Gotta protect those grapes. And inhibits glucogenesis, which inhibits cortisol release. Now, where you might have the production of cortisol is in the morning, when you encounter light. Cortisol is a light-sensitive hormone, which means during the day, anytime you're receiving light going into your eyes and your body's processing, this is when cortisol will be released. While melatonin is primarily found in the nighttime, right before you're about to go to sleep. Now, where blue light plays and fits into this puzzle of the sleep cycle is its effect to increase cortisol production through melatonin disruption. And you can commonly find blue light every day, even when you're watching this video right now. Probably what you were doing right before. Can you guess it? It's literally coming from technology. Blue light is a type of frequency that is emitted by technology and is a part of light and does affect cortisol. But in such high exposures, we are actually increasing cortisol levels too high that melatonin cannot be released. Now, you might think about this and be like, oh, like, what does this really have to do? Like, what are my effects, like the immediate effects? And without melatonin release, you actually experience a lower quality of sleep, and your quality and quantity of sleep is actually affected. Actually, a study conducted at Harvard Medical where just the daily exposure of blue light before bed disrupts melatonin for up to 3 hours. So you thinking, oh man, I'm having a hard time falling asleep after going on your phone, going back to your phone will not help you actually get to bed. If anything, you get to the point of such fatigue and exhaustion that you actually just collapse and fall asleep instead of this true melatonin natural cycle and release. Now, to prevent these negative effects, it's easily done by just eliminating all exposure to blue light. So that means not watching TV at least an hour before bed, or even browsing your phone. So what you're going to want to do is that obviously everybody likes and has habits right before bed. You're going to want to read a book, maybe you just got back outside. You're going to want to turn all the lights off before bed, because sleeping with the TV on actually also contributes to this, seeing that your eyes are light sensitive and will not get this true complete darkness exposure. Now, the main health risk associated with this to gain public perception is actually by cortisol levels being high. That means that you are processing sugar a lot, which means that the only way the body's mechanism to counter sugar production is through insulin. Now, with high levels of insulin, you create a negative feedback, meaning that each time you go through this process of staying up late, pulling an all-nighter, doing this, you're actually affecting and creating health negative benefits such as diabetes and maybe even heart risks by keeping your body elevated to points where it's supposed to be asleep. People are not supposed to run on all-nighters. Now, the main public outcry of this is that since blue light is in development, not a lot of people know about it. So you see in today's generation, you see parents often very busy with their surrounding lives, also working in this blue light environment and having to force tablets or technology to fulfill their parenthood responsibilities with their children. Now, they might think giving my child a phone at dinner or a tablet would help. It eases them, but actually they're doing a disharm to their child, because these early onset blue light exposure can actually affect the neurological development in the mind. Studies have shown that by Harvard Medical, that longer periods of all-nighters and lack of sleep and progression actually increases your chance of Alzheimer's, where cases that wouldn't be present before are actually shown to have Alzheimer's. Now, this might be okay for people close, adults, they're nearing the end of their life expectancy, but you look at children, and children with these onset possibilities of diabetes, blood pressure, malfunctioning of an increase or decrease, most likely an increase, and these Alzheimer's chance, it raises a real public outcry that is, this is an epidemic that is worth fighting for and talking about. Now, what I hope you take away from this discussion is that by watching this, you can understand how these hormones, cortisol, melatonin, affect by light sensitivity and especially blue light exposure, play in our body and the cycles they disrupt. I also hope that you realize that by cortisol levels being high, increasing your sugar content, pulling those all-nighters, you are inhibiting melatonin release, therefore increasing your bad sleep, your mental disorders of the sorts, and overall health problems. And it's easily done by prevention. Such prevention efforts can easily just be reducing blue light exposure during the day, wearing blue light glasses to watch your memes, not watching TV an hour before bed, and allowing for your natural cycles to continue. Thank you so much, and have a great night.